hello, replay crew. Thank you to those of you who circled back because you came later in the live. I do appreciate that. Always much appreciation to Janet because Janet, she always circles back right after the live and leaves a comment, which helps feed the beast called the algorithm. And so I'm trying to, well, not trying to, I have been working on getting into that habit as well. Excuse me, when I watch live streams to circle back and leave a comment to feed the beast. And so I'm not as good at it as Janet. I am working on it though. I am. And so I had a few brushes that were out because I washed them last night. Hey Janet, I was just talking about you. I was giving you a shout out for teaching me to circle back and leave comments on live streams. And so I do really appreciate that. I just had a few brushes that were out loose because I washed them when I came in last night. Well, yeah, it was last night. Let me put some City Beauty lip oil. And I'm sure you've seen this already. And I don't know if I would do this again. And honestly, I did this because I didn't have anything scheduled for tonight. And I was going to do a face, but I was just in so much pain over the weekend. I was thinking, like, am I going to really feel up to doing a video tonight? Hey, Tanya. Hello. Wasn't sure if you were going to go live since, yeah, and usually I don't do that. And, but I wanted to, since we were going to talk about this and I was unpacking it, I said, let me just put that unpacking video this morning. I apologize. I was watching it before I came right here now, and I'm just like motion sickness. Not quite, but if I cause anybody to feel ill, I apologize. And it was challenging putting stuff away with one hand. But yeah, I'm looking at that like, oh my Lord, you are just spinning in circles from the bedroom to the bathroom to your station to the door stuff. So I do apologize for that. But I didn't have a live schedule for today, and y'all know I'm serious about my live streams. And so I was like, what can I put there? And so that's why we're here tonight. And I probably will not show this again unless it's like another one of those all you need to know about makeup brushes. And I have forgot that this lives in my carry-on bag. And so we're just going to go through this real quick. Those of you who are always here, you have seen it already. And so we're just going to breeze through it. Thank you for the thumbs up. I realized something, excuse me for smacking. I remember before I was talking about like the views on live streams and like how it might be like anywhere from like 6 something to, 1.8 thousand views or whatever. And I was saying how that number really is not valid as far as actual views, because I was saying how the vertical live streams, some people do just scroll through. And even if they stop for a couple seconds, that counts as a view, but they're not watching the live. And in our last live stream, I think somebody was saying, hey, I was scrolling through and I stopped. Hey, Grace. Hey, beautiful Joe. And I remember somebody commented something like, hey, I was just scrolling through. And so I stopped to just, leave a comment. So when there's high numbers, for me anyway, for live streams, they aren't watching, they're scrolling. And what made me think about that again was, hey, Alexandria, last night, while we were waiting for my second cousin's, her team, her last performance, I was standing behind a lady and she was on her phone just scrolling. And I'm like, yeah, she was scrolling through live streams, and sometimes she would stop a couple seconds and scroll, and then she stopped and scroll. So I'm like, you know what, that is accurate, what I was saying about all the views are not legit views, well, not to say legitimate, but they're not relevant views because they're just scrolling through their feed. The numbers do look good though. But I knew they were not significant because of the watch time, the average watch time. So, excuse me. I did sleep really well last night. If y'all did see the video this morning, I was in so much pain, y'all. Oh my gosh. And the maintenance guy was really nice. And he was like, well, I can, call downstairs and see if there's another room that you can move to. I said, I am not in any condition to pack up this stuff, go to another room, and then unpack. Y'all, I was in excruciating pain. Like, I could barely walk. It was horrible. And yes, I do take pain meds, and my pain meds don't take the pain away, they take the edge off. But if I'm doing more than usual and my pain spikes, it's a wrap. I am done. And then he had said, well, maybe if, there's just an empty room that you can go take a shower, leave your stuff here, go there, take a shower, come back. I said, sir, I cannot walk that far. Yo, I was struggling. And that's what made it worse, that I couldn't take a hot shower because I depend on hot showers to relax my muscles, ease the pain a little bit, and then just dry off, do my skincare, and just get in the bed. But that was not an option. I slept like shit. Oh my God, it was horrible. So I did email the lady today because I didn't get out of bed until I think it was like 6:30. I did sleep very well last night in my own bed. I really did. And having hot water was really awesome. But so I emailed her. We'll see. But I told her I'm looking forward to compensation for that stay, a refund, because that is unacceptable to spend, $200 something for a room and you can't take a hot shower. And of course, I put in I'm 100% P&T disabled veteran. So look, they wanted to do something. But anyway, people understand that pain medicine doesn't fix it; it barely takes the edge off. There's some people, their medicine does take the pain away temporarily, though, because I can take it every 46 hours. It became, and I used to take it every 6 hours. Now I do take it every 4 hours. But I've been on the same dose literally 26 years. My injury happened June 2000. And so I'm on the same dose, literally 26 years. Well, June will be 26 years. And I am considering asking my doctor for an increase. And he wasn't concerned. He's like, you've been on this dose for over 20 years. I'm like, yeah, I know. So he's not at all concerned. But I am thinking to ask him just for an increase because I don't know if it's wintertime or what, Joe, but my body, it's been bad. But some people, their pain med does take the pain away. And I remember telling my primary care physician, I said, I don't want anything to completely take the pain away. Absolutely, it is still there. And when I was washing my face last night, because remember, all of this was brown. When I was washing it last night, some of the brown came off, where it's pink now. And there was another, little core. So there's a little hole, right here. So all the core is out. There's a little hole right there. And so it is completely smooth. But because my skin, the bruised part was wearing off. So that's why it's pink and then brown. And I did wear my hat like this until I did my makeup. And so after I did my makeup, I asked my first cousin, how's the hole on my forehead? She was like, I don't see it. So y'all know Fenty does be right. But so I told my doctor, I said, I don't want a prescription where it takes the pain away because I would be addicted. Me in zero pain, I would be addicted. I would be like, when can I take it again? I was just like, I'm okay with it taking the edge off. At least I can walk like I'm not handicapped. And that's what a lot of people don't realize is they're like, nothing wrong with you. Look. And for other disabled people, we know we try hard to not look like we're non-functional. And so I am content with that. But right now, though, I think I'm gonna message him and be like, can my next refill, can we up it just a little bit? And so it does take the edge off, but the pain is still there. My baseline is a 4. 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst. My baseline is a 4. I'm in pain somewhere in my body every single fucking day. I didn't do the intro for those who don't know. I do curse, but so I'm okay with just take the edge off, so at least I can look like I'm not disabled. It looks like it does look like that for real. Like I got burned with the curl. Yeah, it really does. If you had hit, yeah, it does really look like that. It does look like a burn. Y'all, when I saw it get to that peak, I was pushing it, squeezing it, and that next day I was like, oh my Lord, I done messed up my forehead. But unfortunately, says Alexandra, even though pain medicine helps my back, the doctors here won't continue to prescribe it after so much time. But that is true. Certain medications, they won't. When I had my wisdom teeth taken out, they had me on Percocets. And I think it might have been maybe 20 something, and I could take one every 12 hours or whatever it was, and there was no refills. And so I found myself looking at the clock like, okay, I got 2 hours and I can take it again because it didn't take the pain away. It just made me feel kind of high where I didn't care that it hurt. And that's what I don't want. So with my regular pain med, I'm okay with still feeling it. Just because if it took it away, I would be addicted. I would be one of them disabled vet addicted people in the hospital crying about my medication. Hey, Haywood. Glad I covered up my third eye. But yeah, and they don't. And so, yeah, if it's something that's like really strong like that, you get a limited prescription and no refills. And I have a friend now who's going through like different tests, different types of therapies. It is rough. So hashtag solidarity. Those of us who deal with pain every day. Yeah, it's and what amazes me is that we still do what we need to do, even though we feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how are we doing all these things? It's hard, but we do it. So we're going to get into this. So for those who don't know, this is Sigma, their brush case, professional brush collection. I purchased this used off of Bakari. This is bulky. I don't care. And I know if I were a world traveler, I would not have this because this is bulky as hell. This lives in my carry-on. It has all the brushes I need. It's very structured, as you see. It's just huge. It is huge. And she was selling this one, again, used, and a new one. And I'm like, but the used one looks like it's new. And of course, I still wiped it down. But there were brushes that I have here that I liked enough to keep, but I wasn't using them. And I'm like, I'll put them in here. So this lives in my carry-on. I never have to be like, oh, I need this brush, that brush, this brush, that brush, this. No, everything is in here. So we're going to go through it. I also want to apologize for the video this morning because I kept misspeaking. I was like, my little niece and this and that. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, yeah, she did a C3. The team is C4. I did post that picture on my community tab. And my first cousin was so nervous. She's like, I don't want to mess it up. I said, girl, you know how to do a letter C and a number 4. And so the first one was the little one on this side. And then I said, do a bigger one here. So I said, see, it looks good. But she was so nervous. She's like, I don't want to mess it up. I'm like, it's a letter C and a number 4, girl. You got this. But that was really fun. So we're going to open this up. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4. And I like that it has the flaps. The only sign of wear, hi Carl, how are you? The only sign that it had been used was this one, like here was a little dusty in that crease. And on the flip side, it was a little dusty in the crease. But I just cleaned the whole thing, just wiped it down. And I think it might have been like $20-something, if that. And I'm like, what? And so this is what I use. And so y'all know I'm organized. And y'all saw my brush setup, shader brushes, eyeliner brushes, blending brushes, Sigma brushes. That's how this is. And so letting Dion play in the background. I'm with your grandfather. Okay, I'm glad you're able to see him as often as you do. And so this first section, this one and this one are the same. Sephora brushes, when they have the silver ferrule, I love these. The black ferrule ones, I didn't care for too much. This is the number 56. And they have the same numbers, I believe. It's just a black ferrule. Pro Flawless Airbrush. I use this for primer and foundation. And I do have 2 of them here. So if I if I wash them and they're not dry the next day, then I have a spare over here. These are Lethal Face brushes. I like them enough to keep them, but I wasn't using them. This one and this one, which you see is stained. This is their 115 blush brush. These are really nice brushes. The only lethal brushes I still have for my stash is the big fluffy one for when I use either, and actually there's two of these in here too. So y'all know I liked it because I got 4 of these suckers for the Hourglass compacts because they're so big and they're really soft too. Their eye brushes were for shit. Them suckers broke apart super quick. But they're face brushes. Yeah, so this I use for blush. And it is less, I'll say structured. when I compare to like the Sigma blush brush. And so this is very loose. But again, I liked it enough to keep it, but I just wasn't using it. It wasn't a favorite. But I said just to have in here to keep and just pick up this and just go, it works fine. This is their contour, what is it? Yeah, number 110 contour brush, also from Lethal. It is very soft. All their brushes are soft. And again, you know, it gets the job done. So I have two of those in here as well. So we have two foundation brushes, two blush brushes, two contour brushes, and they're only in here, like these two aren't together, only just for space, and I do want to keep the bristles not getting bent out of shape. So that's this one. The only thing with this too is you see when I close this, these foundation brushes comes out, and so I will just kind of stick that in before I close it. This is so awkward, and I really don't want my skin on here because I don't know if it's gonna break me out or not. And so this one is eye brushes. This is a Real Technique ones, and y'all know I love the orange ones. Sidebar, I threw two of these away, and y'all know I love this. The number 210. So maybe after the no buy, and I still have. Gee, I don't need no more right now. 2, 4, 6. Damn, what? Because I was thinking after the no buy, I'll buy a couple more, but y'all, I don't need any more. 2, 4, 6, 8. I ain't getting no more no time soon. I have 10 of these. One at least I did throw away because washed it, squeezed the soap and water out. The whole brush thing just came out, and I was like, and because it was clumped, I did push it back in. I'm like, girl, you got enough of these. Throw that damn thing away. Yeah, but the whole, I squeezed the water out and pulled it. The whole, I was like, so I think I might have threw away 2 of them, but I've had these for a long time. But I'm not going to buy any anytime soon, even after the no buy, because I got 10 sitting here, and I think I have like 8 of them like in my kit, because I do like these for primer and shadow base, also for concealer and for the cream face paints. Like these work really well for that. So that was a little sidebar there. Let's get back to here. So this is the purple handle one, also Real Technique. It says crease prep brush, and so this goes back to, cover up my third eye, this goes back to hey Alex, this goes back to using a brush for whatever you want to use it for, because it says a crease brush, which you can, but y'all know I don't do, you know, crease transition, that type of thing, but it's the same. For me it's the same as the other ones, except this is angled and that one's not. And what does this one even say? This is Expert Concealer Brush, the orange one. But I do like this one as well. But I use this for primer and shadow base. And so that's the only one shadow base and eye primer brush I have in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Fenty brushes. And these are all, they say number 230 blending. And I use it for packing shadow. But then you can turn it sideways and still blend, or just use the tip of it and do an outer V. I do really like these brushes. I don't like that they stained. Every single one of these in here has stained. But I liked them enough to keep them, but I'm like, I don't use them. And then I thought about a giveaway. This was like, I'm like, you know what? When I got this case, I said, these will live in here, because I won't miss them not being in my stash, but I do really like them. So every brush in here I do really like. And so it worked out really well just to have them in this travel case. Looking cold over there. Right, Justin? Yo, I put my thermostat down to 61 when I left, so it wouldn't keep kicking on. And when I came home, the temperature in here was 63. And so I'm like, my neighbor downstairs, his counselor needs to turn up his heat, because sometimes it'll be like 67, 68, 69 in here. And so I usually keep mine on 63 because I get his heat from downstairs. We had snow yesterday. And when I left Friday, it was sleet, hail, and snow all at the same time. I'm like, what? Out of all weekends, right, when we have to go somewhere. And last night, yo, it was crazy. The temperature outside was like 20 something, so that means whatever wasn't salted, the road was freezing, slippery. I was like, out of all weekends, And so this is the eye shader brushes and blending brushes. But then we also have over here, this is my Inglot brush that I was looking for in my personal stash. So that's for eyeliner. This is a MAC 210. This is an eyeliner brush. And way over here, one of the few lethal brushes. Is that a lethal brush? This is not a lethal brush. And it's in cursive, and y'all see the print, the same color as what is this? I don't know, but I use this for eyeliner for my upper lash line, so that lives here. This, I remember saying when Makeup Geek, you have AC on, where you live at? Oh, you in Phoenix. My dad is in Arizona. He loves it. He's funny. He'll text me and be like, 120 degrees today, love you. And I text him, 68 here, love you too. That'll be the whole text, just the temperature. It's funny. When I said when Makeup Geek was going out of sale, I bought 3 of each of her brushes. The only ones I still kept, this is the Define Crease brush. And I use these actually for lower lash line. Maybe if I'm doing an outer V. And I do have one of these in my stash here, but I didn't use them that often. And y'all saw all the brushes that I have for lower lash line. So I'm like, I didn't need them. But I didn't want to not have those. And so I kept those in here. These 2 are Blend Bunny brushes. When they went on sale, no, that's a LaRouche brush. When they went on sale, because they knew they were trash, 14 in Detroit, whew. I think now it's like 20 something outside. I'm like, they need to turn up dude's heat so I could use his heat. And you do have fans on? Why not just turn the fan off and open the window? This is 42, -12 in Chicago. So y'all can have it. Oh, hell. This is one of the Blend Bunny brushes, and they knew they were trash. What I respect is they made a post saying, we know there's an issue with the glue, so we're going to do a buy one, get one free to get rid of the brushes. Meanwhile, we're going to be making new ones. I appreciate that because they didn't want to waste the stock that they had. And so I bought 2 sets. No, 1 set. I think I purchased 1 set because they were doing a buy one, get one free because they knew they were trash, but they didn't want to waste it, which I appreciate. And some people were like, I ordered 3 sets, which means they got 6 because they would just glue it back together. But this one I use for lower lash line. This is a LaRouche brush. I think I do use this for blending. And this is a Scott Barnes shader brush. No, it says travel blending. To me, this is a shader brush. I don't know how they think this is for blending. I guess it depends on your eye shape. And this one is also Scott Barnes. Y'all, this is a weird one because it says angled smudger brush. What the hell are you smudging with this thick ass brush? What? What are you smudging with this? Even when I put gel liner pencil under here, it is not that damn thick. But if I do want to just put shadow under here and buff it out, I'll use this. So the first one y'all saw foundation, blush, contoured, and you saw the shader brushes, and here are eyeliner and blending brushes. Y'all know I is organized. This is the last one. My thumb is hurting from holding it. This is the last one. These 2, this is a Scott Barnes travel brush. This is his travel powder brush, but you could use it for blush. And I usually do like I use with the other Scott Barnes brush. I use it for contour, bronzer, blush, and then highlighter, and then setting powder. Or not, depending on what I'm feeling. So that lives in here. This one is his travel highlighter brush. When I first saw these, I was like, how the hell is these long ass brushes travel brushes? And it's because it came in a case, not a case, but it was like a silicone thing, a circle thing, whatever. So it was just travel because it came in a travel container. But travel brushes are not this damn long. I don't know well, he do got like lumberjack hands, but so that stays in here. This is a highlighter brush, and these 2 are the same. These are like the ones I showed you. I have 2 in my personal stash. And I like having 2 of these in here because if it doesn't dry overnight, I'll have another one. But usually what I do is when I do travel, I'll use this bronzer, blush, highlighter, and I'll use this for powder, and I won't wash it because I'm using the same colors like the next day, even though this gets mixed with everything. So this lives in my carry-on. It is super bulky. But when I travel, like y'all, if y'all saw the the motion sickness video, it comes in handy and it fits. It fits in that backpack. If I do take my actual carry-on, of course it fits in there. And so it's just really easy to just know that this is there. I can just like pack my makeup. I don't have to think about brushes, and any type of brush that I would want is in here. And so I really like it. I don't know if I would they don't make these anymore. I don't know if I would recommend this though, because it is so bulky. And most people that I know, when they travel, they want either like a brush roll that rolls, or like something that's more sleek. And it is stiff, which is good. It's just bulky. I don't mind it though, because I always have like extra room in my bag or in the carry-on. But do y'all have a travel brush case or kit where you just keep brushes, where when it's time to travel, you just pick it up and go? And it is very handy, as I said, because I used to be like, okay, I need this shade of brush, this shade of brush, that shade of brush, blending brush, powder brush. And so this makes it where I don't have to even think, and I do forget it's there. And then when I open it, or if I'm packing makeup to go away, I'm like, oh, y'all need to pick brushes, because I'll start picking brushes out of my stash, and then I'll be like, wait a minute, I got that thing in there. So I do actually forget that it's there, but it has everything in here. It was 32 this morning, but got to 66. I wish it would get to 60. I need to turn my heat up. That's what I need to do. And I do get warm in front of the lights, and this is insulated, so but I will turn it up. I read that as BDSM. Sadia, your window's open in your bedroom, but I can't freeze everyone in the house out. That is insane. You said it was what degree? 14 degrees, and you got a window open? You must run hot. Tanya says no, she doesn't, because you don't go nowhere. She has 2 more competitions this month, but they're both here in Delaware. So those are local. So we'll just drive there and not need to get a room. The one in Atlanta and the one in, where's the other one? Houston. I could do the flight, but 200 something a night for the room, and for like 3 nights, 600 something, $700. Nah. But if it's something local, or if it's in Baltimore, she'd be like, hey, you want to come? And she know I'm gonna say yeah. But yeah, so we had a good time, minus my body paint, y'all. It was really bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. Yeah, so after the video that I did, that posted this morning, I fixed something to eat. I turned up the heat, number one. Waited till it was time to take my pain med, and I just lounged, put on a movie, and, ate, my late snack, and just chilled out. Took a hot shower, did skincare, went to bed. I slept really good last night. No, you don't. So does anybody have like a travel case, or do you just pull from your stash when you go somewhere? Because I would always forget something, then I would be upset. And so I will say, if you don't mind this being bulky, if you can find it and it looks decent, because this was used, y'all. This looks brand new. I do recommend it if you don't mind it being bulky, and if you're a light packer, because y'all saw what I took. Everything fit inside of a backpack, including this. So I don't need a lot of extra space. I do recommend it if you don't mind it being bulky, or if you're just, spending the weekend at a friend's house or something like that. But if you're a world traveler, you're going to be like, girl, this thing is a beast. You see how big this is? And y'all know I got a big face. Look how big this is. This is huge. But I really like it. Besides therapy, says Joe, I didn't do anything today. You have a travel case built into your makeup case. Ooh, that sounds nice. I hope therapy went well today. Hashtag solidarity, because, our bodies be going through some stuff, and we still do what we need to do. But so we are going to go, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. If anybody comes in that's normally not here or watches the replay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you already to Janet, because she always circles back to feed the beast, which I do appreciate. And if y'all don't mind, do circle back and just leave a comment or just an emoji to feed the algorithm. And I'm going to give some more special attention to my third eye. I'm going to put Vaseline on it. Vaseline has a lot of healing properties. So maybe in 2 weeks it'll clear up, because being light skinned, if I get if I get a scar, or if I pick it takes like months for it to get back to my regular skin color, but anyway. Yep, a quickie live. Oh, only 30 minutes. Yep. Yes to vet. Yeah. I put Vaseline on it this morning before I went to sleep, and then when I got up, I did my skincare, put more Vaseline on it. Yes, so that was that. Grace is on her other channel, y'all. So make sure y'all click her name on there and check that out and subscribe to that channel too. And I need to do that my damn self. Just Joe 87, because I keep forgetting what it's called. Yeah, so thank you for signing in on that channel tonight, Grace. So we can subscribe to you over there. Tanya said, guess I will go ahead and my video now. Do what to your video? Do your video or edit a video? Also, that video this morning, I didn't even edit it. I uploaded it right from the phone, and I was like, All right, y'all, we're going to go. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all time. Tomorrow night is Skinny's other request, and it was for the Gene Simmons look. She said to do the look, but troll it out, and so that'll be fun. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. You're welcome, Alexandria. Oh, you're going to make your video. Tanya, you are in your groove. I'm like, she is like uploaded every day, and you know that makes my heart happy, because I was like, you need to get back to doing videos, and you really are. And so I'm glad you're in your groove. All right, y'all, we're really going to go. I am babbling here. You will see me tomorrow night, and we're going to have fun. We're going to paint the face. We're going to paint the face. And so everybody have a good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and you'll see me here tomorrow night to paint the face, to do a Gene Simmons look. And so, yeah, you do, Tanya. You do. And so that's the second reason I'm glad. Number one, just doing videos again. And number two, using up your stuff. So everybody have a good night. We will be back here tomorrow night. And as always, even though we didn't do the intro, self-acceptance, self-love, even with a third eye. Boop. Self-acceptance, self-love is the crazy troll nation way. And I thank you all for being here. And we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.